please state your name and affiliation before you ask your question.
Do you need me to state my name?
What's your name?
Lauren Logan, Saleh, Journal-Constitution. Onsi, when you made the decision to move down, just what kind of confidence did you have that that was kind of the right move, that the player that you were looking at would be available?
Yeah, honestly, like, didn't know. You know, you never know if somebody's going to be available when you move down that far. We felt good about a bucket of players if we did get there, and it was the right thing to do for us. It just made sense for us and where we're at, and I think it just helped our future a little bit. So, yeah, it's a good trade.
And then, of course, Asa, just what stood out to you in the pre-draft process that made you feel he was somebody who could fit with the Hawks?
Yeah, I mean, Asa, just the character of the person, the human being, he's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. And just like where the league is going, people's size, athleticism like that, they just make sense. We're seeing it a lot in the playoffs right now. Yeah, you can stretch it out too on top of it. He's really talented. Great screener, great human being, ridiculous athlete, really smart player too.
Brett Rowan from Locked On Hawks. As far as pushing the future of the trade that you guys made, what's kind of the calculus in terms of the upside of that pick, knowing that it has the optionality of it being swapped with two teams? Like, how do you kind of approach that as the main enticement to move down?
Yeah, I mean, I just felt like we liked the bucket of players that could potentially be there at 23, and it was really hard to give up that pick at 13. Like that's a lottery pick. Just given the context of where we're at, and it just made sense to do something like that, just for different purposes when it comes to roster building and things like that. So it just felt like it was the right move, good, fair deal. When we came down to it at the end of the day, it was really hard to give up 13, but we got a guy that was in our bucket that we were considering that at 23. So yeah, it's a good trade for us.
As far as Ace's projection, particularly on the offensive end of the floor, how do you kind of see him impacting winning in terms of what you're valuing on that end of the floor?
Yeah, he plays hard as hell. Like, if you guys have watched him this year, like, Asa is just an unbelievable competitor. If you watch him play or get up and down the court, screening, his intelligence, spacing, respacing, like the things that he does impacts winning. Like, people could just look at scoring and box score, stuff like that. But the guy, he really helps with winning and creating a culture of winning for your program. So again, it's kind of what I talked about before, bringing in winning players, and we got one.
Onsi, Caleb Johnson, 99 the game. I'm sure something that maybe doesn't matter super much to you, but as far as Asa being a local guy, being someone from Georgia, with the Falcons just drafting someone that came from Georgia, what is it like to have a guy who just mentioned to us earlier had a Kyle Korver jersey growing up as a fan?
Oh wow, yeah. Don't tell Kyle that it's going to get too big. So no, we can't do that. But no, it's really cool. Like, it's pretty cool that he's just down the road, played at Georgia. Yeah, it's just really exciting. I think it's cool for the state of Georgia. I really do. Just to have a guy that played out there that's an Atlanta Hawk now. It's pretty special. So I'm just really excited about him.
Hey, Onsi, Jack Keys, Fox 5 Sports Atlanta. As far as trading back from that 13th overall pick, was that something that you guys were weighing internally as an organization for quite some time, or was it more like a reactionary spur of the moment type of deal?
Yeah, again, because it was like it was a really good pick. So I mean, we got a lot of calls on it. We expected that, honestly, just given the context of this draft. So it was expected, but there was a lot of different iterations of things going on, and you have a lot of stuff, a lot of teams calling you every minute. And we just had to make the deal that felt right for us, and thought it made sense for us at the time.
Onsi, as far as the players in your buckets, how early in the process did Asa sort of show up in the Hawks' bucket?
Yeah, I mean, he was right down the road, so it was easy to see him. But no, he was somebody we had scouted all year long. Some of our guys have, it's an easy scout to go out there. So I just think he was somebody we watched all year long, and I mean, we just loved him when we were scouting him. It just made sense for everything what we're about and building a program. So yeah, it was pretty easy to do.
Hey, Onsi, Victor Beato, Fox 5 Atlanta. It's obviously been a pretty hectic 36 hours for you. Did you expect it to be kind of this crazy going into for the first time as general manager?
Just like with the draft and everything, the draft is always crazy. It's funny. The draft is always crazy, even if you don't have a pick. Like the draft gets pretty wild because you try to get in, you try to figure out the second round. You kind of go through iterations of the roster and things like that. But yeah, it's been busy for sure. But it's like I feel like this is kind of how most drafts go, honestly.
Because of the amount of options and variables, I guess you guys could have had on the table, especially going into it with 2 picks and leaving it with the 1 trading back. How did you think going into it? How did your opinions change, I guess, as the night progressed, as your options kind of came?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you get a bunch of teams calling all the time, different offers and things like that. You put them up on the board, you weigh out everything, you know, the short-term and long-term impact of it, and you just balance it out and just decide what the right decision is. Obviously scouting with analytics, projections, things like that. So take all that data and information and make a decision, make the most informed decision you can.
Charles Odo with Associated Press. Do you have any interest in adding a pick tomorrow, or do you feel good about where you're at roster-wise now?
Yeah, we're flexible. I mean, we're optional, and the optionality is the word I keep saying. We have different things. I see you shaking your head, Lauren. Yeah, it's like something we're definitely interested in for sure. A lot of things that we could do, but we'll get there when we get there.
Edwin Powell with the Hawks beat. You mentioned a lot of things that you really like about Asa. What are some areas of growth that you think he can use to improve on?
Yeah, I mean, when you're drafting guys this young, it's going to take some time for them to be the best version of themselves. So the thing I'm not worried about is like his work ethic, his character. Like he is about the work, and he is about being what matters to us most as like Atlanta Hawks. I'm not worried about anything. Right? He has all the talent in the world. He really does. But and work on everything. Like, that's what you should do at this stage.
Any final questions? All right. Thank you, Onsi.
Cool. Thank you, guys.